Thousands of students in Massachusetts walking back into class for the first time since the pandemic began.
And all elementary schools, I should say, were ordered to start full in-person learning. Middle and high schools will do the same later this month. 12 News reporter Brandon Truitt is in Fall River, where some students met their teachers for the first time today. Brandon?
The city says there are about 10,000 students in the public school system. Half of them have been fully remote since the pandemic began, and today started a return to normal for so many.
I was kind of excited to see everybody and see my new teacher.
Fourth grader Caleb Gonzalez leaning into the positives, somewhat on the fence about returning to class.
I just want to be home.
That's where he's been learning for more than a year. His mother saying she knew it was time for Caleb to make the switch.
I mean, I'm not going to have him another year at home, all stressed up, depressed and everything.
Caleb, just one of roughly 800 Fall River Elementary students back in class for the first time since the pandemic began. One school bringing in Dells to treat the students. In some ways, it felt like the first day of school.
We're happy to actually be seeing students face to face rather than on the computer screen.
Teachers just as excited as many of their students. After all, it has been an unprecedented year for them too.
It's so nice to have them all in person. They've interacted with each other with half at home and half at school, and now they're actually getting to build that community again.
The state has ordered schools to offer full in-person learning following this timeline. Parents still have the option for their students to learn from home, but many seem ready to take advantage of a return to normal.
Seeing my friends and seeing my teacher.
And the Fall River School Department says about 75% of elementary school students have opted into that full in-person learning. The rest are staying remote for the remainder of the school year. In Fall River, Brandon Truitt, 12 News.
Also in Massachusetts, many students went back to school today for the first time in more than a year. Elementary schools across the state resumed full in-person learning, including in Fall River. As 12 News reporter Brandon Truitt tells us, some students met their teachers today for the first time this year.
You know, in some ways, today felt like the first day of school. Students here have been hybrid learning, some fully remote. But of all the elementary school students who went back today, about 800 of them had not been in a classroom since the pandemic began.
We're super excited to be back.
On Monday morning,
It's so nice to have them all in person.
it was hard to tell who was more excited, the teachers or their students.
They've interacted with each other with half at home and half at school, and now they're actually getting to build that community again.
And it was on full display. Playgrounds packed, students laughing, the luckiest of them treated to Dells during recess. Fourth grader Caleb Gonzalez is on the fence about walking into Viveris Elementary, but he certainly missed his friends.
Kind of excited to see everybody and see my new teacher.
Yes, his new teacher. Caleb has been distance learning since last March. His in-person instructor is someone new. All a part of the pep talk Caleb's mom gave him this morning.
I just talked to him and let him know, like, look, just go in, be you. You're going to have new friends. You're going to have a new teacher.
It's sage advice that can apply to thousands of students here. The district tells us out of their 10,000 K-12 students, half have been fully remote since the pandemic began. Today, that changed partially, at least. Governor Charlie Baker laying out this timeline for a return to full in-person learning. Parents still have the option to stay fully remote, but Caleb's mom says it was time to make the jump.
I mean, I'm not going to have him another year at home, all stressed up, depressed and everything.
And it seems like most parents agree. The school district telling us that roughly 75% of elementary school students here have opted into that full in-person learning option. In Fall River, Brandon Truitt, 12 News.